what that means. So I'm live, and then it's giving me advertisements. It's like, I don't know what's going on, and it's looking the wrong direction. Look that way. There you go. So my windshield is not clean, but it's what we have to work with. So, hi, this is not a trucking channel. I am not trucking. I am not a trucker. I am a human being. I am existing. This is actually my scheme for my clown show publicity, because I don't have any way to get my clown show to viewers. You know, YouTube topped off my viewership on my clown show at like 30 people. It seems like YouTube's only going to let me have 30 subscribers on no matter what channel I do, except for on this Not a Trucking channel. I was able to get 130 subscribers. That's a funny story. I'm going to get into it right about now. I just got to drink some coffee because I wasn't being prepared to talk to, you know, one or two people or whoever shows up. So I guess I'm talking now. I don't know who has time for this. I'm like trying to do my job. I got 100 things I got to do tonight. But yeah, so this Not a Trucking channel was able to get 130 subscribers, which is a big deal for me. And I guess it could have gotten more, but what happened was I was making videos on this channel, and I would make a video, I'd make a video, I'd make a video, and nothing would happen, and nothing would happen, and nothing would happen. And then I made one video called, "Is This About Giving Up?" And for some reason, the algorithm was like, yes, people love giving up. Make more videos about failure. Everybody loves failure because it's relatable, I guess. So anyways, that video I made, it was weird because it got as many views as it got likes. It was like 1 for 1, like maybe like 95 views, 95 likes, which sounds pitiful and sad, but I'm not like a real YouTuber. I'm like a truck driver, you know? Oh my God, there's actually people here. Hi, everybody. So what happened was it was like 1 for 1, 1 for 1, 1 for 1, with the views and subscribers and the likes. And they gave me all this stuff all at the same time. And so I went and I Googled, I was like, is YouTube fake? Or not just is YouTube fake? I was like, are likes and subscribers fake? You know? And then as soon as I Googled that, like I was watching that counter go up, 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 which was very strange because it had never done that before. And so I was like, this is not real. This is just some fake algorithm nonsense. And it went up, 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 up. And then as soon as I Googled, is likes and subscribers fake, or are likes and subscribers fake? And then they cut off my flow. My flow of likes and subscribers came to an immediate halt. And then also they shadow banned me forever. They would not give me any more likes, any more subscribers, any more views on anything I did. Not just on that channel, but when I made more channels, they were also like, no, shadow ban, period. And like, sometimes I hear people who are like pretty successful with YouTube talking about how they're being shadow banned. I'm like, I don't think that's what shadow banning is. I think shadow banning is like when they're like, no, specifically you, drop dead, we hate you, or whatever, you know, is going through the algorithm's mind. But that ties into where, you know, you're not allowed to make a difference in the world. I gotta let this guy in. You know, you're not allowed to make a difference in the world. And even, you know, there's some people who are put out there to like pretend that they're making a difference. And, you know, I asked some people their opinion about that. And it seems like as long as you don't connect too many dots, you can say about like this dot is this, or this dot is this, or this dot is this. But if you don't connect this dot to that dot to that dot and make a full picture, you can be, you know, you can have access to the general public. But as soon as you start connecting too many dots, they're going to shut you down. And my whole thing has always been connecting dots. You know, what else is there to do, really? But so hold on. Sometimes I actually have to think about what I'm doing. Just thinking this guy's going so slow. But anyways, search for Rosie the Literacy Clown and show it to your children. I made a children's show. It's called Rosie the Literacy Clown, and I make up silly stories for children to enjoy, and I do it as a clown. But you know, I'm just like a little pipsqueak nobody, nothing on, you know, and from the perspective of YouTube, I don't exist basically. So I'm using this Not a Trucking channel to get on here and say, hey, go check out my Rosie the Literacy Clown story. Also, and I guess what I'm doing for this video is, you know, I'm driving around. This guy, I'm not too sure he knows what he's doing. I think he's planning to stop here. He pulled out in front of me to go really slow and then to like kind of drift off of the road, I guess. Some people don't really know what's going on. And so I'm making this video driving the truck I'm in. It's got a Big Brother camera staring me in the face, but sometimes it malfunctions. And today is one of the times where the camera has malfunctioned. So they're not actually watching me live streaming. I don't know if this is taboo or not taboo. I mean, most things are taboo. I got to squeeze through this little booth. I hate squeezing. I'm going to go so slow because it's way too tiny. But if you want the wide one, you got to go all the way over there and then all the way back. So I just got used to going through the really tiny one. But it'll jack up your trailer tires if you don't really creep through. So, or you'll slam your mirror on the booth. That happens sometimes. So I guess because I'm driving, what I'm doing is driving on the videos. So I'm going to be talking about the other drivers. And this is an exciting thing because you'll see on the sign it says, you know, New York City. We're going to go through New York City. I'm just going to be chilling out. Apparently, you know, there's people in the comments. That's pretty cool because normally I would not ever have access to an audience. But if there is an audience, I appreciate your existence. You're going to see what I'm doing at my job. This guy's creeping along, but joke's on him because I'm going to be creeping along once I get around him. I was going to talk about driving. Also, go search Rosie the Literacy Clown and show it to your children. It's a children's show. And that's why I'm doing this, is to promote that. Because otherwise, I don't know. A little about me. I'm a novelist. You could go search my novels. Richard Rose, Bloodlust Paradise, The Rapture of Corruption, Black Cat Sunrise, Rose City Catastrophe. Those are some of the books I've written. I write a lot of books. Nobody reads them. It's just pretty much the way it is. It's the way it's always been. Hopefully not the way it always will be. But, you know, if I had to guess, that would be my guess. You know, this guy jumped in front of me to just, I mean, he's probably heavy, but I don't think he's heavy. I think he's just dumb. Because even if he was heavy, he could move a little bit better than this. He's just really had to get in front of me to slow me down for the last 5 or 10 minutes. He couldn't have waited. But, you know, that's the thing about courtesy. Yeah, I want to talk about driving. And, you know, I'm a professional driver, so I wanted to give some tips about driving, one of which would be courtesy and conscientiousness. If you know that you're going to be slow, it's just common courtesy to let the other people go by. I got a bunch of trucks coming up behind us, so I want to jump out around this guy, but I'm going to wait for all these trucks behind us to get around us because this guy has now created a situation for us, and I'm locked into riding on this guy's tail because there's so many people coming up from behind. You'll see him here on the left coming around. So yeah, I wanted to do like, you know, just driving videos. If you watch this video, you'll probably learn a thing or two about driving because what I'm doing here, I mean, it's Thursday night, but it is some version of a holiday because last night was Wednesday night and I noticed there was so many. See, and then the guy behind me, he's got to not let me out, even though he's seen this happening. And then he's got to block me in and go around. And now I'm going to have to jump out in front of other people. all because of this one dude. And you saw that happen like, 10 minutes ago when this guy jumped out in front of me. We're still dealing with that situation that began 10 minutes ago when I said, oh, I got to let this guy in, trying to be nice. Look what happens. Nice guys get stuck behind idiots, I guess. But whatever, we're free of that. He's got his work lights on. That's cool. But I mean, I don't drive very fast. Because the way this truck is set up, somebody set it up really silly. They put you can go 62 miles an hour, and then this guy now he speeds up. He was doing 45 until I get around him, and now he's in a big hurry. Can you imagine that? So you can do 62 miles per hour on the pedal, and if you want to get up to 65 miles per hour, you got to use the cruise control, which involves a computer, it involves some buttons, and it involves a radar system on the front of the truck. And all the little four-wheelers, they don't understand how badly their erratic movements confuse the radar on this truck. And also, you can't even override its halting mechanism. It will naturally kind of slow itself down. So you can't even really use the 65 miles per hour setting except for passing. A lot of guys, and when I started driving these ridiculous trucks that they created, you would try to stay on 65 and you're always fighting against the buttons and you're fighting against the radar and you're switching lanes to try and get the message across to four-wheelers that they need to go, and they don't really get the message. And so what I learned is to just hang back at 62, because the speed limit, for the most part is 65, and everybody wants to go exactly the speed limit, which is ridiculous. You need to you need to go way above the speed limit or way below the speed limit, or just at least not exactly the speed limit, because they set these tractor trailers most of them are set to go, the top speed is 65, exactly the speed limit. And then every four-wheeler on earth comes out here and they set their cruise control to exactly the speed limit. And so now you have a situation where all the cars are doing the exact same speed as all the trucks, and all the trucks are doing the exact same speed as each other. But me, because I got some brains in my head, I'm hanging back at 62 miles per hour, where all these people ahead of me, they're all going to be tangled up at 65. But they don't know what's going to happen is when we get up into the congestion, they're all going to crunch up on each other. And I'm going to be watching the right lane. And when the right lane slows down, I'm going to get into the middle lane. And if there's some idiot in the middle lane, I'll use the no-no lane on the left. But I mean, that's not really what we're here to talk about, because this is not a trucking channel. I don't know why I'm always talking about trucking. Oh, because, I am, this is my doom. This is my curse, is to be condemned to tool around in this tractor trailer at all times. But, that's chill. I'm doing this run because it's probably the most exciting run that I do, but exciting in a bad way. It's not fun. It really sucks, actually, because last night was something of a holiday, and this run up through New York City on Friday nights it's like the Thunderdome around here, but then on Saturday nights it can be pretty bad too, and holidays are an example of that. And thankfully right now we're pretty well into the night where it shouldn't be, there's room to maneuver and to, work around your problems. But this area can get pretty crazy. Last night I was wondering why there was so many drunk people on the road, because it was a Wednesday night and there was like a strange amount of drunk people on the road. And then I found out today that it was some version of a holiday, and then so people had the day off. And so that's why they were out getting drunk last night, and they were also out getting drunk today. For a Thursday, I had a lot of problems with drunk people just running from Pennsylvania into New Jersey. But I mean, is this guy just going to talk about trucking the whole time? I thought this is not a trucking channel. Well, it's not a trucking channel, and I should talk about something more important. But I don't want the dead air of when I'm trying to figure out what is happening. So if I keep talking about driving, there won't be dead air. And if I try to talk about something meaningful, then there's going to be dead air while I try to collect my thoughts. So it's like we can have like a meaningful discourse with some dead air, or we could have a meaningless discourse about trucking. But you'll see nothing is happening right now. This is the calm before the storm. Even though I don't think the calm comes before the storm. I'm pretty sure the calm comes after the storm. Because before the storm is just like storm. There's usually just a storm before the storm. And then after the storm, there's calm. But anyways, this is the calm before the storm of when we get up into... So this is the New Jersey Turnpike. It's actually a pretty interesting road because you could see we got like 6 lanes going north and 6 lanes going south. And I'm in the truck lane, just doing the truck thing. But when we get up into, I don't know if this means anything, when we get up into North Jersey, it can get pretty nutty up in North Jersey. Wouldn't it be weird if my microphone is not even on? I gotta make sure my microphone is on. I mean, it's got a green light on it. I think that means that the microphone is on. And so yeah, go check out Rosie the Literacy Clown. It's a show for children. Why did I make a Rosie the Literacy Clown show? Well, you know, because I'm a novelist. I can talk about writing. That's a good thing to talk about, right? So I always been a novelist since I was a teenager. And, you know, we got this whole thing about we're going further and further into the future. And, you know, people have considered writing novels to be something of a dying art form. I don't think it's a dying art form, really. I think there's so many people in the world that even dying art forms are thriving. It's probably a dying industry, though. I'm sure the novels, the industry, or the supply and demand for novels has got to be all screwed up. I've made like maybe $25 selling novels in about like 20 years or whatever. So it's not a money maker. But so Rosie the Literacy Clown is, I was thinking, you know, well, we should get the children to, you know, be interested in reading, to be good readers, for lots of reasons, to learn critical thinking and valuable life lessons, and how to use their imagination, because that's the trick they don't tell you, is that the best way to understand the world is to use your imagination, because they say that the truth is stranger than fiction. And I mean, I'm sure we all know that to be correct. So, you know, they're teaching kids to be like, you know, a brick in the wall. 1 + 1 is 7, and, you know, ABZs and all that. And, you know, they're turning their little minds into mush and things. And I don't want that. What I wanted to do was to make a clown show where the clown was just reading books to children. But I realized it was going to have a, what do you call that? Copyright issues, where if I go out and I try to read books to children, then I'm going to get, you know, I don't have the copyrights for any of those children's books. And then I was like, well, you know, I mean, I always been a storyteller. I'll just start making up stories for children. And then Rosie the Literacy Clown, he's basically a big child anyways. What is going on with this arrow? Stay in lane. Is there... Did I miss a sign? I don't know. I'm going to not be over here. I don't know. It's just the shoulder. It's just the closed shoulder. Anyways, Rosie the Literacy Clown, he's like a big kid. So his stories are like really silly and really goofy. But also they're kind of cryptic. You know, I wanted them to be enjoyable for adults. Not that anybody cares. Not that anybody's going to see them. I mean, I suppose it's theoretically possible that because I did a live stream to 3 or 4 people, that everybody's going to go watch my Rosie the Literacy Clown show with their children. But I would say it's unlikely. But I did want them to be entertaining for adults. So they got a like kind of a cryptic bent, because, you know, the universe has a cryptic bent, if you haven't noticed the dogs eating the dogs and whatnot. Um, but yeah, I wanted to read them stories, but I figured I'll just come up with my own stories. And so I did that, and this is so sad. It's so sad to talk about because it's like it was like a lot of effort. I bought like $1,000 camera or whatever. I was like, well, I want to do it right, so I bought the camera, and then it just went up to 30 viewers. And it tells me, this is the other thing about YouTube being fake. It tells me I'm getting like 2,000 views on each of the shorts that I upload. And on each of the shorts, I'm like, hey, please subscribe to Rosie the Literacy Clown. And everybody's just like, nah. So that's like 2,000 people who are just like, nah, I'm good. Nah. I mean, not just 2,000 people. It's 2,000 people times like 10 or 20 shorts. It's like 20,000 people are just like, nah. Like, could you subscribe to this clown show and show it to your children? Nah. And it's like, I'm all right, whatever. But this is why they throw clowns into volcanoes, is because they didn't get enough subscribers. It's like, well, it looks like we're not going to be needing you, into the volcano. And so but yeah, Rosie the Literacy Clown, I did like maybe 10 shows that are available for people to go watch. And the next one we're going to be doing is Dickie the Illiteracy Clown. I just came up with the first Dickie the Illiteracy Clown show, but it's tough because I'm really busy. You can tell that I'm a truck driver and I drive full-time, but I have a pretty good job, so my full-time trucking is not really the same as other people's full-time trucking. I can usually bang my work week out in like 40 to 55 hours. Somewhere between 40 and 55 hours each week. But also I gotta go like be sleeping out on the road. So it's not like that. I mean, it's also, 4 nights sleeping. So 40 plus 55, it could be like, 100 hours out on the road or whatever. But it's what works. My trucking job is pretty chill. A lot of people have very not chill trucking jobs. Oh man, we don't have any more commentators. They were like, because I can see that there's like emojis. I can't read anything that's happening there, but I can see that somebody did some emojis. That's probably my wife. My wife did emojis, and then nothing else happened. Well, that's cool. I think that if there's not really anything happening over there that I could be like less concerned with if this goes well or not. I don't know why I thought YouTube was all of a sudden going to be like, oh, sure, here, lots of audience for you. When as far as as far as I know about YouTube is they're like, no, 0 audience for you. You get no audience. And then everybody else, lots of audience. You, no audience. Which is par for the course, because that comes with that ties into it's kind of like, yeah, that's your life's purpose. That's God testing you and God challenging you. And it's difficult to do the Lord's work, and it's easy to do the work of the devil. Like, look at what I'm out here doing right now. I'm trucking, I'm supporting corporations, which is this guy. He needs to move over. He's going 49 miles an hour. I need to move over. I mean, it's obvious he's moving over for this truck, but also he is doing 49 miles an hour. So I don't know why he's going that slow. Maybe there's a hill there. He's probably really heavy, and there's probably a hill right here. My load does not weigh that much. Sometimes if you're ever wondering why a truck's going really slow, it's because they're heavy, usually. So it's not like a big deal. But this guy in the middle lane up here, I don't know why he's going so slow. And then the hill is over, so this guy's speeding up, and then this guy is not speeding up. So I'm in this situation where I'm going to have to use the no forbidden lane to solve the problem of what's occurring here. So anyway, it's difficult to do the Lord. I'm not saying I'm doing the Lord's work. Maybe when I was writing novels, I was, because I don't know. I'm always trying to fight the system and everything I do, you know. But they say that if you're participating in the system, then you can't possibly fight the system. And, you know, I do think about that quite a bit. Wait, I never got my cruise control set to passing speed. And of course the buttons don't work, so I gotta hit them like 20 times. But so I mean, I think if you're fighting the system, then you are doing the Lord's work. But if you're participating in the system, are you fighting the system? Because there's the thing. It's like, all right, so I've got the driver's license. So I'm registered with the system as, you know, with the birth certificate and the social security. So I'm locked into the system. And then I'm out here, I'm participating in interstate commerce. And, you know, I'm making my wages, and then I'm paying taxes on my wages. And the IRS is constantly hitting me up for money, even though they're just making errors, but there's no way to correct their errors. So I got to keep paying them, or they're going to take my driver's license away. And then I don't have any way to make any money. So the IRS is like constantly, I don't know, stealing from me, robbing me, thieving from me. The IRS is really giving me a hard time. But I got no recourse, because I need these monies for nutrients. Did you ever see that Invader Zim? I need these monies for nutrients. But yeah, that's true. And so, I don't know. I would like to fight the system more. I used to fight the system. You can watch the videos on this Not a Trucking channel about my adventures in fighting the system. But, I mean, we just got co-opted. Because I was involved with Occupy, and Occupy was really important to me, but it just got co-opted and turned into a Democrat cesspool, which was not what we were there for. We were there to be anarchists, and I don't know, I was doing other lawless behaviors, but I don't know, I pushed it as far as I was able to. I really don't have that kind of brains or that kind of determination. Some people are really slick with pulling one over on the system. I'm not like that, because you got to be a good liar, and I'm a terrible liar. And so my inability to tell lies has always gotten me into a lot of trouble. But anyways, so that's why I have difficulty with finding an audience, because I am trying to do the work of the Lord, insofar as I want the world to be a better place. But, you know, that's not really the person I am anymore. Because I used to be a hippie, and I used to be like, you know, love your neighbor, and you know, trying to make the world a better place. But I really wasn't able to do that and to take care of myself. So I kind of had to choose between, you know, I just made a video about selling out and selling your soul, and I tried pretty hard not to sell out and not to sell my soul, but I got into so much trouble that I got into the most trouble you could get into without totally destroying your life. I was like right on the precipice of throwing my life away forever. And so once I had pushed my luck to that point, that was when conformity became more of an option. Because for the longest time, I was a nonconformist, and that's all there was to it. No ifs, ands, or buts. I was all in on nonconformity, but it doesn't pay good. So I wasn't good at being like broke and, homeless, and I really couldn't take care of myself until I became a conformist. And even then, I mean, even once I decided to become a conformist, I wasn't good at making money until I realized, you really gotta. I was kind of pushed into it, to go get a job, because I was not good at getting jobs. I was not good at holding jobs. I was not good at having money. I'd never had any money. I didn't know what it was like to have money, but I got by with a little help from my friends, you know. But conformity has been lucrative for me. There's something interesting about being a truck driver or being a novelist. I didn't. Every time I look at New York City, I have to say I didn't like Christopher from The Sopranos. That's my superstition. So I'm trying not to look at New York City. It's over there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but New York City is over there. And if I look at it, my superstition is that I'm going to have some weird New York problem, which is a thing. Anybody who's spent any time around here knows that it's very easy to get sucked into some weird New York problem. So in my mind, if I don't look at it, then maybe the evil spirits that lurk around here, they will not notice that I am here. Like, I guess it's kind of like a gorilla. You're not supposed to look directly at it or whatever. Do you think this four-wheeler here, do you think they're going to let me get around them? Or because they were going slow, they were slowing me down, so I had to go around them. But now once I go around them, they're going to speed up and take off. And I can see them speeding up and taking off to prevent me from getting around them. But if I put myself back behind them, they will again slow down. Oh, good, they're leaving, which is ideal. That was the best thing that could have happened with that person, was that they just decided to take their bitch ass to Staten Island. So Staten Island's actually a pretty cool place. I had an aunt who lived in Staten Island when I was young. She was a great aunt, Oh, fuck, they're back. They're back. Nope. And I can't really move over because I got someone on my tail, and they're really slowing down because they really want to freaking dick me over. I told you this guy would be a problem. And the guy who's coming up around me, come on, please go. All right, now they're speeding up again. See, their speed is all over the place. This person is a problem. They don't know where they're going. They don't know what they're doing. They do know they don't want to let the tractor trailer go around them. They don't know anything, but they know that it's very important that the tractor trailer does not get around them. You see these torches up here? This is like a oil refinery or something that's got these torches. I don't think that's going to show up in my nasty windshield. All right, we're doing it. Just let it happen. Just take it. Just take it. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Just take it. Just take it. Oh, he doesn't want it. He's not gonna take it. He's gonna fight it. And then this guy, he thinks he's getting around the truck. No, that person up there is also going slow. Yes, correct. And now we're stuck in this situation where we're gonna have to use the no lane because this guy didn't let me get around him. And so this is what happens when you don't let somebody get around you, is you create bad situations because you're dumb. Don't be as dumb as this person. Don't be dumb at all. How about that? But I know it's hard not to be dumb. I'm pretty dumb too, But this person, so now this person is in the situation where they are out of their comfort zone. They are now running For some reason, it's just unacceptable for them to let the tractor trailer get around them, even though they are comfortable at a lower speed. So now they are very uncomfortable because they are out of their comfort zone and they are just running out in front of the tractor trailer, which is dolphining. Sometimes I call that dolphining, when they run out ahead of you like that. Because that's what dolphins do to boats. But here, there's a way I can, if I tick up my speed, I can sometimes break through this. Because they're going to have to either up their speed or they're going to have to let me get around them. Because if they up their speed to this much, then, yeah, fuck you. All right, anyway. Because if they up their speed that much, then I can slow back down and then they'll keep going out of my way. Which is why you need two speeds. You can't just have one speed. Which is a stupid problem, but they design these tractor trailers very stupid. And just the design of the things creates stupid problems. I got a guy behind me. I should let him get around, which I really don't want to, because when I do a courtesy, I'm going to do a courtesy for this guy who's behind me, and then he's just going to sit there. He's not even going to go around me. He was in a big hurry to get up on my tail, so I move over to let him go around, and he is not going to sit there. And he got his fucking high beams on, so that's great. Come on, buddy. You can do it. You can do it, buddy. And and then I got this situation in front of me. But there's this right lane over. I'm not too worried about it because if it gets too ugly. But this guy woke up. So now he's going. He's awake. It's alive. But also I'm, to maintain my speed, I'm encroaching on this four-wheeler who is too stupid to not follow around on the tail of a tractor trailer. Don't do that. What this guy is doing, don't do that. Don't be anywhere near a tractor trailer. I realize that there's a lot of tractor trailers, but you are always faster than them, or be slower than them. Just don't be near them. It's not safe to be behind them. It's not safe to be next to them. It's not safe to be in front of them. There's nowhere safe around a tractor trailer. The only safe place to be is far away from the thing. People don't really realize, and it's hard to explain it. Because you think, well, it's just like a big car. It's not like a big car. The whole thing is blind. The driver probably only knows what's going on in like his little outside the passenger window and right here, because you really can't be watching your mirror on the blind side all the time because you'll lose your balance looking over there. And a lot of times there's nothing to see, and it's just not the way it is. I mean, you can look out your blind side mirror. But the way I do it is I pretend there's always somebody somewhere. So if you think that there's always somebody in your wherever you need to be, then you'll be more careful around them. And then this guy, he was in a big hurry to get up onto my tail with his high beams on, tailgating me. And now he's slowing down because he doesn't know what's going on. People are real big and bad getting up into a city. But then once they get up in there, they don't know what they're doing. So I don't know. I don't know how to be I don't know how people talk this much. My throat always hurts when I try to talk this much. I'm gonna drink some water. I don't know what's going on. I'm like imagining that there's like 100 people listening and there's like one, maybe one. I can't look over at the thing to see if there's people or not people. I'm going to have to go around this fucking guy, but I don't want to pass him on this hill. This ramp, if I do try to go around him, he's going to cut me off because he thinks it's only one lane, but it's a 2-lane ramp. Oh, good. He's going the other direction, which is good news for me. He's going down I-80. I didn't. He's going down I-80, and I am going up I-95. I had all kinds of work to do today. I got to get up into Connecticut and drop a load. I got to go pick up a load. I got to go get that load unloaded up in Massachusetts, and then I got to take that trailer and go up into New Hampshire. And I got to get that load out of the Walmart up in New Hampshire because why exactly? Oh, because they have weird hours where there's nobody there in the middle of the night when I would like to go there. And if I don't get the paperwork, then I'm going to get stuck waiting for like 5 hours or whatever for them to show up again. So I got to hustle to get that freaking paperwork out of that place in New Hampshire. Do we have anyone from New Hampshire in the audience? Oh, fuck, that doesn't look good. Do we have anybody from New Hampshire in the audience? What's the deal with people from New Hampshire? It seems like they're all brain dead. But actually, I can tell you what the deal is with brain dead New Hampshire people is they're drunk. They're not drunk. I mean, they might be drunk, but they're definitely hungover. I don't know why everybody in New Hampshire is hungover all the time, but it's the only explanation for why they're so dumb. I'll tell you how many, you wouldn't believe how many problems I have with the stupid people up in New Hampshire. And I mean, and it's sad because those are white people, and white people are not supposed to be dumb like that. But New Hampshire has no excuse. And so I kind of just tell myself that they're all hungover because I don't want to face the truth that they're not hungover, because that's even worse. At least if I pretend they're hungover. Rosie the Literacy Clown. Go search up Rosie the Literacy Clown. This guy wants to cut me off. No. Go search up Rosie the Literacy Clown. Watch my clown show with your kids. It's a good clown show. And, hold on, I gotta think with my brain. I got a lot of Invader Zim quips. This guy's trapped behind some dumb shit four-wheeler. That's great. And I'm trapped behind him. He's trapped behind him, and I'm trapped behind him. You're stabbing me through you. You're stabbing him through me. That song Jars by Chevelle. That's a good song. I want to listen to music. Normally I listen to music running through, well, not this area. But once I get to the George Washington Bridge, that's when it gets really, pretty crazy. I mean, getting through the Bronx is not usually crazy. It's just annoying, but the I-95 corridor, there's this 100-mile stretch of I-95 from Carteret, New Jersey to New Haven, Connecticut. I call the danger zone because it's just insane. And I've had so many bad trips through there where you're tiptoeing through the tulips, which, everybody's drunk, they're on drugs, they're old, they're young, they're foreign, they're urban, they're liberal. They've all got some kind of problem that makes them drive like garbage. And there's so many of them, and they're, Southerners don't know what it's like to drive around this because they don't have this problem down south. Down south, people know how to drive. I don't know why, but they do. My wife was telling me there's not going to be anyone awake to watch my live stream at this hour. I don't know if that's true or not. This guy, he's kind of blocked in, but dude, why am I passing you? This guy's mad that I got around him. But, I mean, he was going slow for enough amount of time for me to get around him. But now that I'm here, he's upset about it. When I wasn't here, everything was hunky-dory. He could just putt around. Come on, dude. Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. I was hoping there's be some kind of live stream way to, film myself and the road while I'm driving. That would be pretty cool. But I don't know. So I want to use both cameras. I want to use the front and the back camera at the same time. Whatever. You're gonna see this Ferris wheel up here. They have some like big giant Ferris wheel that I don't know what this place is called. American Dream. Yeah, it's on this sign. But the sign's behind the sign. American Dream Meadowlands Complex. They got a big giant Ferris wheel. So yeah, I'm gonna go get fuel. Oh, we got an 18-minute delay up in Connecticut somewhere, which is not surprising, but it's not until an hour from now. So I think by the time we get there, it should die down quite a bit. What time is it? 12:50. So we'll be getting there like 1:50. That's numbers, right? Math, clocky time. Ah, shit. He's got to wait until I'm right in his fucking face. Or until his ass is in my face. And then he's got to move over. I mean, he could have done it a long time ago. Or he could have waited until I got around him. And now he's insulted. So instead of going really slow, he's going to fucking speed up. Because I sped up, and so now he's got to speed up. So first he's got to put his fucking ass in my face, and then he's got to make my life difficult afterward. I mean, I don't know what goes through these people's fucking heads. Fucking twat. So let's see. So we're in North Jersey here. If it was daytime, this would be a big mess. I think every time I do a live stream, I'm going to be just going through here over and over again, because you can really see the underbelly of humanity going from North Jersey to Connecticut on I-95. You can really get a sense of, it's like going to the DMV or to the hospital. You see all the worst people, or Walmart. But Walmart gets a pass because I go there too. I mean, I also go to the DMV, but I don't want to. And I go to the hospital, but I don't want to. That's where all the worst people are. And the worst people are also all around New York City. Or any metro area, really. But so what's going on here? So this car is doing good. They're not getting in front of the tractor trailer and then slowing down. We're going through these tolls here. Man, what do you guys want to talk about? Is there anybody there? I wish I could see if there's somebody there or not. Somebody do a comment if there's actually there, because I can't read the comment, but I could look over and see if a comment occurs. If there is a human who is not my wife, I can see my wife's comment. If there is a human, then go do a comment. Nope, just me. But you know, that's not actually that much different than usual, because I'm usually running through here talking to myself anyways. I'm not talking to myself, I'm normally just yelling at four-wheelers. It's nice that the Big Brother camera is not in my face, though. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe I should shut this thing down, because who am I trying to entertain? I do want to kind of steal a peek to see if there's a human. I think it's just my wife left it on, and then nobody else. I don't know. So what are we doing? We're cruising. Isn't this world-class entertainment? Are you not entertained? I didn't. I looked at it 3 times. 2.5. I looked at the city 2.5 times, so I had to do 2.5. I didn't. Ramp closed. What ramp? I mean, the ramp to the Vince Lombardi is closed. That ain't right. I think there's some other kind of ramp. There's the Vince Lombardi down there. I don't think you can see it because the camera's sort of pointed to the left. It should be more to the right. So you can see all the truckers sleeping down in the Vince Lombardi. It's like an ocean of truckers down there. Private, Christian, affordable. What does that mean? I don't know. All right, this is gonna be a thing. We got some fucking car that's sitting around right in my fucking terrible place where I got no choice but to cut them off because they're just fucking sitting there. If you're gonna pass the truck, pass the fucking truck. Don't just sit around in the corner of the truck because then we got no choice but to cut you off. And that might be the moment when you decide, we're waiting for you. This guy's in my fucking lane. That's great. Okay, now go be not in my lane. Nope, that's my lane, fucker. God, see that shit? See how little fucking space we have? Yeah, you're probably not allowed to live stream this because I don't think they want people to know what's actually happening out here. That's probably why the camera's off. They're like, oh shit, he's going through New York again. Turn the fucking camera off. But it might have been because I was eating cookies. And they were like, oh, I don't want to see him eating cookies. They always turn the camera off. They're always spying on me, but they get offended by what I'm doing. And then they turn the camera off. Like when I'm working on my stories for the clown show, they'll get offended. Then they'll turn the camera off. Like, you don't like my story? It's a good story. I don't know. The one I came up with last night's good. All the Rosie stories are pretty stupid, but the Dickie story I came up with, Dickie the illiteracy clown, my new clown that I'm working on with new stories, different. He's going to do like scary campfire stories, which, you know, probably going to be more appealing than the Rosie stories. The Rosie stories are very silly children's stories. But yeah, the Dickie the illiteracy clown story I came up with is a lot better. I should probably just focus on those, but I don't even have a voice for Dickie the illiteracy clown yet. Rosie the illiteracy clown, he sounds like this. This is, hi everybody, Rosie the illiteracy clown. Oh, you guys, hey look, we got a guest, a driver. He's gonna take over. I'm gonna go in the back and take a nap. Here, Rosie, take the wheel. Hi everybody, I'm Rosie the illiteracy clown. When I'm not telling little children all the little children's stories, I'm driving the tractor trailer through New York City. We're about to be on the George Washington Bridge pretty soon. There's a bunch of people hanging around right on my tail where they should not be. They don't go around me, even though they have cars, which are very quick and nimble. They could just go around. But for some reason, they'd rather stay where it's extremely dangerous for them to be, where they're about to be smashed and killed. They'd rather stay where they're about to be smashed and killed than to just go away. So yeah, we're getting up here. I don't know what that's going. So oh, there's a bunch of truckers sleeping back there. That's a weird place to be sleeping, but okay. All right, though. George Washington Bridge is up here. That's gonna be exciting, right? I think the camera's gonna fall off the window because there's so many bumps going through New York. I really don't think the camera's gonna be able to hang out on the window with how bumpy the road is. But that sucks because that's like the most interesting part. Everything I did up to here, I mean, everything that Richard Rose, the driver, did up to this point. Delays ahead. Be prepared to stop. I don't know about that. But that was not really the interesting. The interesting thing's gonna happen once we get through New York City. That's when things get interesting. But the camera's probably gonna fall off the window, and then we're just gonna have to shut down the show if we can reach it. If we can't reach it, then it's probably just gonna be blacked out. I don't know, but yeah. I mean, where do clowns go? I'm gonna jump out the window, and you guys can have Richard Rose, the professional driver. So, anyways, that was Rosie the Literacy Clown. He was driving the truck. He jumped out the window. I guess he had to go. I'm back now. We're moving on her like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? We're grabbing her by the pussy. That's what we're doing. We're getting up into, there's a big hill before the George Washington Bridge. And that's the hill that we're on at the moment. So what's going on? What is there to say? You know, sometimes I think that people don't really like small talk, or people don't really like talking and saying nothing, but sometimes I think talking about meaningful things is more meaningless than talking about meaningless things. Because, you know, meaninglessness is the essence of our existence. And meaningfulness is like, that's like out on the horizon. That's like the goal. The goal of our existence is meaningfulness, but the essence of our existence is meaninglessness. So, you know, meaninglessness is a tangible reality. Meaningfulness is, it doesn't really exist, you know? And I wanted to ride this guy through this crunch. You get used to doing this a certain way because normally there's too many people, but at this time of day, there's not really that many people. But it's the only way I know to do it. You gotta hug the left lane. You can just ride this left lane all through the Bronx and everything. And hopefully this guy will do it too, because I like when there's a trucker who's doing it ahead of me. Because I don't want to be the one out front. But then sometimes they do it really slow. So if they're gonna do it fast, that's cool. I don't know. There's probably not anybody watching, but if they were watching, they would be about to be shocked and appalled by what is about to transpire. So I got a load of pallets in the trailer. It weighs 27,000 pounds. And we're on the George Washington Bridge right now. There's going to be a crunch up here. I don't know why. Well, I'm sure they couldn't build it any other way. They can really only build it one way. Sometimes when I'm on a bridge, I remember that I'm on a bridge. This is one of those times. Normally, I like to pretend that I'm not on a bridge. Or I don't even think, or a lot of times I don't even think about it. But once in a while, you remember that you're on a bridge and that you're up in the sky and there's a whole lot of air underneath you. So this is the aforementioned crunch. This crunch can be really not so cool a lot of the times. Do you see how many bumps there are? So that's one of the problems with the crunch, is that the bumps are throwing you around. Over here on the right, these people run out of a lane and they don't know it until it's too late. They might have changed that. No, they fixed that. They opened that lane up. But for a long time, there was no lane there, and they would just like get smushed into the crunch even more. But, well, it's good that that's open. So yeah, we're just running through here. This is the Bronx. I don't really want to talk about the Bronx. I've got some memories of the Bronx, but I'm going to pretend that I don't. I don't want to tell my Bronx tales. I think there's actually a few of them. Maybe like every time I only had to work in here like a few times, but every time I had to work in this place, I come out with a new story about it, which is, that should be telling you something. It's better when nothing happens. The truck driver's ideal circumstances is nothing happened. And then when you come to a place like the Bronx, something always happens and it always sucks.